I'm Kim Strunk. I am the founder of Hopebridge. My background is occupational therapy. And so my practice in occupational therapy over the last 20 years has really been focused in pediatrics. So immediately prior to starting Hopebridge, I was working in the early intervention system in Indiana, and that's the birth to 3 population with children in their homes. In the community at the time, there wasn't a lot of options for families once kids transitioned out of that program. And so I wanted to be able to provide them an option. At the same time, I had this caseload of kids that I felt like really probably had some form of autism spectrum disorder. And I wanted to be able to provide some type of intensive program that was going to address those needs as well. People called and were interested in the services. At that point, I didn't have a location yet to provide the service. Ended up in a strip mall that was kind of in a retail area, we did a build out there and opened the doors in September of 2005. It's made such a huge difference, but it's certainly been a journey. So anyway, so we started out as Homefront Learning Center. That was the original name. So that went until about 2010, 11, and we spent a lot of time talking about, okay, where do we see this going? At the same time, then we're thinking, okay, Homefront Learning Center sounds, and even like our logo was like a little schoolhouse, it just sounded more academic. And so as I really, thought about and talked to the other people involved, where I wanted to take this was, to be more of a professional clinical model. And at one point, Hope and Bridge came together and I was like, oh my God, that's it. So, over the course of the years, the growth has just continued, and it's really kind of bittersweet because it's wonderful that the company is growing, but it's growing because there's such a huge need. And in order to really sustain the growth, and that's always been one of my visions. I mean, initially I started out, there was a need. I saw the need, I felt it, I was working with these families, I wanted to meet that need. As we continue to go out there and we were in these communities, and the need just, it just kept coming. From the founder's perspective, and I do think about this often, because this started as like I say, a vision in my heart and a dream that I had. And sometimes, when you're working with children, you don't always see the result. It's not an instant gratification thing, and that can be really hard because sometimes you can work for months and months and months and feel like, oh my gosh, we are getting nowhere. And then one day there's a breakthrough, and it's like, oh, we did it. And so just to have the tenacity to continue and come in day after day with a smile and be refreshed, and those kids, it's interesting to see the kids, they really make a connection. But it is so cool. It is so cool when you see a kiddo that you worked with at, 3 and 4 years old, and now they're 14, and you're just like, oh my God, that is so cool. That is, you're just happy for them. Sometimes I just stop as I walk into a clinic, and I just stop in the lobby and look around, and it's a pretty awesome thing.